When we're live, and we are live now. Go, Bart.
Right.
We are.
All right. Well, we introduce first. Why you usually do the introductions, and then I bam.
And then that's it. Then you
Yeah.
talk
Well,
for
first
10
of all,
minutes.
right. First of all, we're bringing you guys something a little different today. Both of us are in the same room. Well, we introduce first. Why you usually do the introductions, and then I bam.
And then that's
We are getting reverb.
Yep, a little bit of reverb there.
okay. Whose was that? Was that us?
I don't know. All right, we'll see. But go ahead. Who do we got with us, Scott?
North Shore Whiskey Club is with us today. Darren and Shag, go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
Hey guys, Darren McInnes, North Shore Whiskey Club from Boston, Mass.
And I'm George Shagnon. They call me Shag, and I'm from Boston, Mass as well.
Beautiful. Love the nickname Shag. And what are we reviewing today live, Scott?
We got us Lagavulin 8,
Boom.
and side by side, a little bit of Lagavulin 16.
Boom. And you know what we're going to do?
What are we going to do, Bart?
We're going to test it.
Very nice, very nice.
I think he uncovered something in the background back here, too.
Wow, we love that. We love that. Nice job there. Very nice. It kind of offsets your Denver Broncos garb there.
It accessorizes it. Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and pour my 2 glasses here.
Beautiful. Yeah, let's pour something out. Bruno's got his, or Scott's got his poured out.
Oh,
Let me
you drank.
oh yeah, I had a little 8 coming in, but I'm gonna fill her back up here, and then I'll get our 16 in.
Mine is just breathing a little bit.
Beautiful breath.
All right, we got 16 people are watching now. A few comments are rolling.
Well,
in.
first of all, we're bringing you guys
Different.
something a little different today. Oh, why we're getting that?
Yeah.
We're getting a little lag deal here.
Zip Away is with us.
We are getting reverb.
Yep. Food
Yep.
Quig.
A little bit of reverb there.
Okay. Whose was that? Was that us, Papa?
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna have to.
All right, we'll see. But go ahead. Who do we got with us?
Hold on.
North Shore Whiskey Club is with us today. Darren and Shag, go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
Let us fix this because it's
Hey guys,
it's
Darren
playing back from
McInnes,
2
North Shore
minutes
Whiskey
ago.
Club from Boston, Mass.
Why is it doing
And I'm
that?
George Shagnon. They call me Shag, and I'm from Boston, Mass as well.
All right, we're going to do a little fix here. What are we reviewing today live, Scott?
We got us Lagavulin 8,
Boom.
and side by side.
Technical difficulty.
All right. Now,
Hold on, this is
We're
going
gonna
to be
try
fun.
this.
Look at this. Now, hold on, it's still
Back to
playing in
the
my
earbud.
ear, though. Now, can you guys hear us over there? We're getting this weird loop.
I can hear you guys fine.
Okay. Are you guys hearing any other kind of audio going on your end?
I can actually hear it coming out of your headphones. It's a little strange, but it's not as loud as it was before.
Yeah, something's going
this
weird.
is why here.
Hold on. Okay,
Boom.
there we go.
There we go.
Sorry, we were trapped. Hold on, I pulled out something. What is that?
Oh, shit.
All right. It was,
Problem solved?
we had some comments up on a sub screen, and what it was doing is looping and playing that about a minute, like in the past. That was kind of weird.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that for everybody out there that was picking that up, and you guys.
Okay, Darren and Shag, you guys are the North Shore Whiskey Club. Tell us a little bit about that.
All right, so I guess I'll start, D, if you don't mind. So it was about 2013, actually 2012. Darren took a trip over to Europe for the Patriots game. Oddly enough, they were playing. Who were they playing, Darren?
The Rams, same as today.
How about that? So they were playing the Rams, and he took a little bit of a stint over to Scotland as well, and kind of a when in Rome type of thing. He jumped into a couple of different bars over there, and you take the story from there, D. I mean, you were in the bar and started talking about some locals about some of the products there, and
Yeah, I got back. I I tried whiskey at home for the first time. I got a Jura 10 online. It told me that was a good starter dram. Took a sip and it took my breath away. It was horrible. So then I end up going over to Scotland and I go to the Pot Still pub over in Glasgow. And I step up to the bar and I go, give me your finest 18-year-old. And the guy just kind of smiles. He goes, well, what style do you like? And I go, well, what do you recommend? So he puts 3 up on the bar, and one of them was a Highland Park. And he goes, and I go, well, what do you recommend? And he offered the Highland Park, and I love it. That's my favorite ever since. But we got to meet some guys that night at the bar, some locals. They were talking, whiskey geek talk. It was going right over my head. But we had a great time. And when I came back from that trip, George and I started seeking out tastings. We found a dinner, went to that and have loved it ever since. We looked for clubs online and then couldn't find any. We said, let's start our own.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what we did, and we got ourselves kind of a digital footprint, got the name straightened out, the Twitter and the blog and things like that, and just started to seek out different tastings. And what happens when you go to these tastings, you get to know the folks that are behind the table pouring the whiskey, you get to know the liquor store managers, you get to know other people that are there to taste the whiskey as well. And that's how we're starting to build our list of folks that are interested. And then now we start to do our own tastings, and that whole list is who we email in order to get us all together. And talking to these different reps that are the ones pouring the whiskey, and they're more than willing to come out, bring their whiskey and tell us all about it. It's educational, fun, and it's just a great community.
Cool. Now, about how many people do you have in your club or in your group?
I'd say it's probably about 12 right now.
Oh, okay.
And but we're definitely not, really formal about it. We had visions when this thing started was, hey, we're going to meet on the second Thursday of every month, and we're going to have these meetings and get to know the place where we're going to have it, the bar or the restaurant. And it really never worked out that way. Everybody's very busy. I travel a lot for work, and a lot of other guys do. So it's hard to just say, hey, set a time and day, here's when we're going to meet. So what we decided to do was we'll be more of informational. Here's where some of the tastings are going on in the area. If you're around, and we can go to them and you can go to them, come say hi. And again, just building that list.
Well, you got such a big area that you've got to source from. I know right out of high school, I ended up getting a job on a small little cruise line that would go up and down the coast. And the very first place over the summer, we would do these cruises up to Maine, and we were based right out of Boston. We were like a pier or two down from the USS Constitution. So I got to see a little bit of Boston, gorgeous area. But yeah, you've got a huge area. I figured you might even tell me you had like 182 people in your club or something.
Oh man, no. But the thing that's fun about having the name North Shore Whiskey Club is it's kind of ambiguous, for people. I mean, North Shore of where? People don't know. We actually had somebody from Twitter send us a note on Twitter and said, hey, I want to go to your next meeting. Tell me when it is. And I thought, well, okay, where are you from? He said, well, I'm from the North Shore of Hawaii. Because apparently there's that's what they call one of their areas there is they call it the North Shore. So I said, man, I'll tell you what, only if you can have the meeting, that's when we're going to go.
Yeah.
So, but it's pretty neat. You don't know if it's North Shore of Michigan, North Shore of Scotland, North Shore of Hawaii. So it's kind of neat. We get followers from all over the world. I mean, so many people on Twitter, following us, and it's astounding, really. So, but what a great community. I mean, the Whiskey Fabric, you guys know better than anybody. It's a great bunch of folks, and whiskey people are definitely the best people.
Couple that you touched on. One is Twitter, which really is a great social networking, app. Anybody that's wanting, if you're watching and you're wanting to get into reviews and wanting to branch out in the whiskey world, Twitter is a great source for doing that, and Instagram as well. So a second thing you kind of touched on is kind of getting in and getting to know your liquor stores. We've got one that we do 98% of our shopping at.
98.2.
Yeah, 0.25.
We kind of spread ours out.
Well, and the thing is, though, they get and if they get to know you that way, that's fine. But we deal with one the majority of the time, and they give us some pretty good price breaks on a lot of our stuff, just because we do the majority of our shopping with them. So
very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice. Yeah.
we use several stores.
do what?
We kind of use several stores. There's different prices, and you can get pretty good deals depending on where you're at. But we've gotten to know a few store Scotch experts, so it's good working with them, and sort of jump around a bit.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, though, too, stores have different distributors sometimes, and may get a certain line that others don't get.
What? I question the different distributors. They may have different relationships with the distributors.
Okay. That's true.
So
now, do they do in-store tastings where you guys are at?
they didn't used to, but that just started. I think that was this year or last year. I think 2015 was when that suddenly became allowable. So that's been very nice. Now, real quick, before we get into these different logs here that we got, could you each explain just to the viewers and to us, what's your favorite bottle, your favorite dram, and why?
So I think I'll start. I think Highland Park 18, like I mentioned, that was sort of my first connection to whiskey. And I love the heather and the slight peat and the slight smoke. I think it's so balanced. That's definitely my favorite dram, sort of a desert island dram. But I also love Ball Blair. I love anything Ball Blair. I had a 1975 early on, and that kind of, sparked it too with the whiskey passion. And so I would say Ball Blair 75 and Highland Park 18.
Those are tough to follow. Those are really both very good. My personal favorite is probably the Ball Blair 90. It's a sherried whiskey. First of all, I like it all. I don't peated, sherried. I like it all actually. But if I were to be on a desert island, I'd want two. One would be the Black Art from Brookladdy, and the other would be that Ball Blair 1990.
Love that.
Just the other night,
Sorry, go ahead.
Just the other night, I had a Dallas Dew 1980 that was unbelievable. So put that on the list.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, do you have any comments you want to read off?
We got a lot of comments, yeah, and people that are watching, I'm looking off to the right. I've got our YouTube channel and the comment board pulled up here. A lot of good comments coming in. Just real quick for you guys, Gabriel GV says, "Go Patriots, Patriots, go Patriots!" Signed someone from the South Shore.
Wow.
Oh wow, South Shore, I love it. Yeah, that's only just south of Boston. So North Shore is just north of Boston. Anything from here up, and South Shore is south of Boston all the way down to Cape Cod, basically.
Really?
So
23
to 3, by the way.
Got tuning in and commenting anyway. Claire Rojan, Robert Hendricks is here. Klaus Dobelman.
Klaus.
Ron Boot. Maston Broke.
All right. Europe is being represented.
Very
excellent.
Klaus again. Malted in Montreal is here with us. Triple Cap. Gabriel GV 0619. Food Quig. Zip Away.
Goodness.
Frank Lampert is with us. He's actually in our area, and Frank runs a whiskey club here in Wichita. So
nice. Are you guys a part of that?
Frank, hopefully you're still watching. We are going to have you on the show someday.
We are not officially part of the group. We've been. I think part of it was when we were able to attend. That was probably a big part of it. And then part of their rules where you have to attend so many before you can be considered to even be part of the group, which is cool. We just with everything we got going on, sometimes our schedules, Scott's traveling all the time as well. So,
well, and they put a cap though too on their
that
members. I think it's 20 or 25.
Right.
But someone has to leave the club before someone else can
Right.
Can be
I think
admitted
somebody
in.
told me we would have to kill somebody at this point to get in.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, sounds like they're a little more official than we are.
Yeah, they had a guy that was real cool. He ended up taking a job back in Seattle. He's some kind of statistics guru guy. That's what he does for his job. And the one time we were there as guests, he was there, and he takes they fill out all these sheets and they score everything, and then he compiles all that and keeps his master list. Now, I find that my inner board game nerd loves that. Scott was kind of like, I'm here to. So, by the way, what is that? There's somebody has a no board game thing hanging out in the back. You want to point that out, Shag?
Yeah, here it is right up in here.
No
I
board
remember
games.
watching a little bit of Jerry's live feed there, and he kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole with you. So I thought,
Yes, thank you,
said, hey,
thank you.
let's accentuate that so we don't
There you go.
so we don't
Love
run
the
into that
hat.
problem.
Love the hat. That hat is sweet.
Well, you're not the only one that has crazy hats. I figured I'd bring this out, but really, this is the one that's going on now.
Oh no, that's too conformative.
Hey, just a couple of shout outs. We were talking about the whiskey fabric, and I was talking about I travel quite a bit up and down the East Coast here of the United States, and Darren and I have met Whiskey Lassie up in New Brunswick, and it's been unbelievable with her. So big shout out to her. Sam Spears I met on a trip down to New Jersey area. Brett, of course, who's the Scotch trooper. Met a couple of times. Jared, who's the Florida Scotch lover down there. I saw him, I think it was last year, and I'm going to go ahead and I've got a trip planned this week. I'm going to see him on Wednesday night. So shout out to him and, all the other guys. I got Linda Peterson, who's a Graham Good whiskey up here in Massachusetts. Darren and I had dinner with her one night, and very knowledgeable. Oh my God, what a collection she's got. Jerry, course D man, Adam at the Scotchology, the Wee Dram girl up in Toronto, Laura Ennis. Have you guys heard of the Edmonton Scotch Club?
Yes, that's on Twitter. I think they're on Instagram as well.
I'll tell you, if you ever read any of their stuff, really, really entertaining. So
now to bring it around, we're going to bring it around to this Lagavulin 8 200th edition here. That's this one that I'm bringing to the forefront. Then we got the 16 here. Now, again, I'm not overly, color's interesting and everything, but I love just mentioning it a little bit because you can already kind of see the youthfulness of the 8 here. And again, color doesn't, to me, it doesn't say much about taste just because all the different stuff with colorants and everything else. And I've had some flavorful young ones, even NASs before. But what do you guys think about just kind of what we're looking at and what we're nosing?
Well, it's kind of interesting to note that this is actually colored, the Lagavulin 8. So, and you can tell by the sales in the German market, they have to disclose that. So it's very pale. You'd never think it's colored.
Yeah, and in fact, the first time when I poured the first part of it, I was like, "Wow, there's no colorant in that." And I think it was you that told me, believe it or not, yep, they do add a little bit of coloring to it still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have looked like moonshine before.
no kidding.
Exactly.
Okay, on the nose, I get peat, and I do get a little bit of a citrus sweetness.
Right, I'm gonna tone in at the same time just so we can keep the audio going. I'll follow Scott here. Yeah, I was amazed. I get an earthy peatedness. The peat, I expected it to be stronger than what it is in the 16, and it's definitely on the forefront. But I get that earthy warmth, almost a roundness on that nose.
Yeah, I get a touch of cereal note.
When I first nosed this, and I did this a little while back, I I wrote down green grass right at the beginning. So it's got a little bit of greenness to it to me, and some light citrus. Obviously a little bit of spice. But the smoke, I agree with you, Bart. It didn't knock me over, and I was a little bit surprised by that. When the taste is a little different, but the taste, the smoke kind of gets you when you're tasting it, but the smoke seemed to be in the background on the nose.
Now I know we are. I want to focus on the 8-year, and we do have the 16 going side by side with it. But I just came over and nosed the 16 after having been nosing the 8 for a while, and the difference is complete. I mean, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Not what I expected at all.
Well, I love the Lagavulin 16, and when I'm got folks that are interested in just dipping their toe into the peated world, I'll suggest it or let them try mine, because that. Now, I know we haven't gotten into the taste, but that peat, because it's spent longer in the barrel, is more in the background. And I was amazed that the nose on the Lagavulin is much, much different, obviously, than the 8. So, I mean, distinctly different.
Well, all right, real quick. Rombout Mastenbrook points out that the coloring added to the German box is in error, and that the printer just did what it always had done and put coloring on there.
How about
Really?
that one? We're breaking news here.
Yeah, look at that. This show just became very informative.
That's right.
Now, Whiskey Lassie is with us as well. Joanne, have you heard anything? Anybody else that's on there, have you heard anything about the coloring being added to the Lagavulin 8?
Yeah, we'll try to get some confirmation on that live as we go here. Now, we can kick it over to you guys if you want to go in the same order. If you're able to nose them back to back, do you guys want to comment on the differences?
I'm a little behind here. I got to pour myself some 16.
Oh, there you go.
What are you doing? Come on.
You're good. We
Right.
usually don't do two different. This is almost a versus the way we're doing this here. So
right.
this is new for us too, because we usually focus on just one.
So Scott, what do you have there in the back? You have a sign about glasses? I got a neat glass here.
No, yeah, that's a nice glass there too.
That is.
First time I'm using
Just glass in general. And I didn't even think about tying it in, but that is a movie quote. Anybody that I'll put up different movie quotes back here behind us. That's Bart says I'm pretty good at the movie quotes. Anybody knows what movie that's from, you can comment. Klaus Dobelman, he says that he believes it is uncolored, the 8-year.
Well, it sure looks like it is, doesn't it?
I'll tell you, the 16, there's a definite clove and a mintiness that comes right off of it
I agree.
that I hadn't noticed that much before until I go right from the 8-year to the 16-year.
Yep. To me, it tastes like that mint you would get if you went and picked that fresh mint straight from your vegetable garden and were just crushing it and sensing that mint on your fingers. And you're right. You said a little clove too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's very, very interesting having them next to each other because I think there's some peat way down deep, but it's not like the 8. I get the peat in the 8 a lot quicker.
There's a lot more fruit on the 16.
Yeah. Shag, what do you got going?
I'll tell you, I just had just more bold on the nose, more luxurious on the nose. It seems more concentrated to me than the 8 is.
You guys get any pine on the 16?
Yeah, that would be in there as well, along with that clove pine. Yep. Real quick, Claire, you got the movie right. Glass? Who gives a shit about glass?
Ooh, so Claire's called out. Should I say
Wait,
it?
what does she win? What does she win?
Oh, we don't have a prize. I guess
We
we'll have to
call her out. Go, Claire, go. You got to give her like a little cheer.
All right, I'm going in on the tasting on the 8-year.
All right, so we're all going in on the 8-year. I'll blather on a little bit. Hold on. Scott just said something. He's reaching for something.
I was going to bring up 48%. I don't know if we'd mentioned that
We had not.
on the 8-year.
48% on the ABV. This is the special 200th anniversary bottling as well.
And the standard Lagavulin 16, at least U.S. bottling, is 43%.
Right.
Right off the bat, when I tasted the 8-year, and I did sit down yesterday early with it, and Bart, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't on these live streams. But right away, salted nuts, I got right off the bat, was like the first thing I got, along with the peat and smoked meat.
I definitely get that.
Agree.
That peat. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying it's very salty. Definitely pick up that maritime feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that brine, I definitely get that. I mean, the peat is what jumps to the forefront for me here. And it's got a, oh boy, I'm trying to nail down the sweetness that's there. There's, I can't quite describe it yet, but there's this strong, sweet flavor there. If Shag, or if you've got anything on that, are you getting any of that?
On the 8,
On the 8?
what I have is heavy smoke, pepper. You know, some people can pick out white and black pepper. I don't know. I just feel like it's pepper, but I also get a heavy citrus on this, and almost like if you ever had a grapefruit at the very end of the grapefruit and you start to squeeze the juice out of there, that bitter kind of citrus is what I'm getting.
I think that's it exactly. You're right. Like that juice that's in the rind right at the end of that grapefruit.
Exactly, yeah.
Are you guys getting like an ash though? It's more than smoke. It's like an ashtray.
Yeah, it comes close to me. If I was going to just say what other peated whiskey does it remind me of, not exactly, but it's closer to the smoke of an Ardbeg 10 to me, and as far as that ashy note and that earthiness that I get. And not the same, but it's closer for me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Let's say anything, Bruno. Bruno's typing away.
I've been busy, and are we on the pallet? I'm not even paying attention.
Yep, we're on the pallet for the 8 still. And you guys, everybody's doing great because we know we got 4 folks here, so that's why we've joined in together, just cutting down on some of the camera angles we've got going on. But go ahead, Scott.
And let me open to, a lot of people have been really enthusiastic about the 8-year Lagavulin. And so when it just hit our store last week or a couple weeks ago. And so I picked up a bottle, and I kept my expectations low because I thought, well, it's an 8-year. Let's wait till we get in there and see what we got. And I wouldn't say I was blown away, but it exceeded my expectations for an 8-year. It really is well balanced.
Right. Well, I've always said one good thing about peat. For me, I'm a peat head. I love the peat. And the peat really comes through on a younger whiskey. The longer a peated whiskey spins in the barrel, the more it works in and out of that wood and that charcoal, and the more behind the scenes the peat comes. So I love a strong peated whiskey. That's definitely what I'm getting here with the 8. Let's say North Shore.
Man, it's got a long, smoky finish, doesn't it? It's really nice.
I completely agree. It's got a real nice liveliness to it, you know, like an 8-year-old would. It's very much spirit-driven versus cask-driven, in my opinion.
That's a very good point. I want to give it to Lagavulin. Great 8-year-old. Early on, I was hearing some people say, an 8-year-old, what are they doing bringing on an 8-year-old? But, I've said it before, I'm not as much into the heavy wood flavors, so I kind of tend to like younger whiskeys often. Not that some of the older ones, you get many older ones that they're not over oaked, but that's what I'm really enjoying with this, is that forward peat.
Let me address a couple of comments, because we got several other people are tasting this with us, and they're sending in their notes. Food Quig adds that he gets a bit of apple and cinnamon in there after the smoke has moved off. The Whiskey Hunter, he also gets salted nuts. Robert Hendricks, almond brittle and citrus.
Wow.
Rombout gets mandarin, peppery, and it's smoky. Food Quig is back with briny up front, peat on the sides, and with some lemon and some pepper in there as well.
Very good. Now I should point out. Go ahead.
Do you guys get a touch of the tobacco? It seems like it would pair well with the cigar.
Yeah, and the aftertaste. Definitely
any Scotch would pair well with a cigar.
Yeah, but this
yeah, he's the cigar guy. Now I should point out, you guys already noticed there on North Shore, I've got on a Puerto Rican shirt. My wife's Puerto Rican. That does make me more worldly.
We understand.
I need all the help I can get coming from Wichita, Kansas.
I did have just one note, and someone else had commented about apple, and when I put water in it when I was tasting this a week or so ago, I did write down slight green apple after adding some water.
Yeah, have you guys tried?
And at 48%, I've been drinking away here, and this is delicious neat. I'd completely forgot about adding water to it.
Yeah.
So we need to do that.
Yeah, we're gonna add some water right now.
What?
You want it in your 8?
Oh, I didn't realize you was my waiter.
Well, I'm helping you out just to keep the show moving forward, brother.
I can smell your leather.
Thank you.
Telling me it's genuine leather.
Yeah, see, when he starts describing the 8-year-old as having a strong leatherness to it, it's actually my wafting of this phenomenal jacket.
I keep getting a strong leather.
Yeah, it's like calf skin leather is what this tastes like. And
that's very odd. Hey, little score update here. We got 26, New England 26, Los Angeles 3. Denver 17, Jacksonville 10.
Bingo. Yeah, we had that next. I will say the other day I was nosing something and I was getting tons and tons of cinnamon. And all of a sudden I looked around and my wife had added this whole like Christmas plate thing of potpourri pine cones, and the cinnamon was coming from there. I had to move away. My nose was destroyed.
Oh, you got to seal yourself off.
Yeah.
Hey, Malted in Montreal, he points out that the Lagavulin 8 is overpriced at $100 for an 8-year-old product. Now, Malted in Montreal, we're sorry, this is $70 on our shelf.
Yeah, I picked mine up for $60, and I think Darren, where'd you get yours, or how much you pay for yours?
Yeah, mine was $65.
Yeah,
so not bad.
Jackpot.
Although, we can get the 16 for about $65. And so, you think to yourself, 16 years, 8 years, why would they be so similar in price? I'd love to see the 8, priced a little bit lower if they could. And hopefully it's not going to be replacing the 16. Right? You hear people commenting about that. Is that what's going to happen? I really hope it doesn't.
God, I would hope not. I mean, you're talking a completely different flavor profile. You're getting a great price on the 16. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, that is $90 to $95 around here, the 16 year.
It is.
Really? Wow. Yeah, we get it much cheaper here.
Yeah. Bigger market, I guess.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, heck, you got that North Shore, you got that South Shore, you got all that.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, hold on. We're going to be moving. We're going to be moving to the 16 now, but go ahead. I cut somebody off there.
No, I just wanted to say this is a little surprise here. I'm going to send this to you boys. This is a replica of the Fenway Park.
Nice.
So look for that in your
mail, the actual snail mail.
Your actual mail. Yeah, exactly. And a little North Shore flag right up here if you can't see it.
That will go on the bar.
There you go.
Very good. That may fit even better back here on the shelf next to the Patriots helmet he's got here.
Hey, or bring the Patriots helmet over to the real set.
I don't know if it'll make it out over there.
Now, I would like to point out that the Fenway Park replica could go next.
Oh, Lordy.
To Pistol.
Oh, man.
Now, there's a story to this.
Piss Boy went to the loser of our fantasy football league for years, and I won this thing like 3 years in a row.
Yeah. So he basically became the keeper of Piss Boy.
Well, our league disbanded, and so I kept Piss Boy.
They're
Like
just
3
gonna.
years in a row. He had when the league disbanded, he got to keep the Piss Boy.
They're gonna name it after you, is what they're gonna do.
It's called the Scotch.
Nice.
So wait, Scott, why do you have that helmet? Why do you have the Patriots helmet there?
That's actually one of my kids is when they were little. One of the grandparents got them that for Christmas. It's it's not a replica. It's like a little 8-year-old kid's plastic helmet,
Nice.
Okay.
Hey,
or maybe
tell
even
us-
for like a 4-year-old.
Yeah, that was the first thing I asked when I came in. I go, "What are you doing with this? What's going on here?"
It actually it's a little low on the air pressure.
No, very nice.
Oh,
Very nice.
I didn't even get it. I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" That's
Scott, tell
brutal.
us the story about Scott. Tell us the story about how you ended up with a Red Sox T-shirt.
That's my older kids as well. And he's a little bit bigger than I am,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I can wear his clothing. And he did a trip to
Your son's
school trip.
almost as tall as me.
not quite that tall, and he don't look like you
That
either.
would be tall.
But no, they did a trip to Boston a couple years ago in school, and so they went to a game, and he bought the shirt there.
He knows a winner when he sees one.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, you want to move to the 16, boys?
Yeah. Yep. That pine note that you pointed out is, I mean, that's obviously what I was getting.
Now, we're all drinking at the same time. Now, I was just in Dallas. Some of you guys know that there's a big board game convention. Yes, I'm sliding that in, but I had a buddy there that brought the Lagavulin 16, and he just said, I had to bring this. This is my favorite. Go ahead. You got a finger up. Go
You
ahead.
could have told that story without putting in there you were at a board game.
Completely. You could have left out the air pressure on the helmet as well. It's part of the entertainment of the show. So I had this there, and I just got to tell you, I like a strong peat forward, so it's not my top 5 of all time, but it's in the 10. The smoke here is just beautifully delicious. I need to come back and hit it again to get some more notes, so I'll let you guys go a little bit, and then we'll come back to us.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some sweet smoke there. I think a great balance of the peat and the oak.
I wrote down substantial. Yeah, it's bold, it's meaty, salty, savory, sweet, barbecue sausage, that kind of stuff. I mean, go good with a really nice, steak dinner or a sausage or salmon or something like that with papers, really nice.
Yeah, the way it transitions and moves, that's what I love in my scotches, no matter what the type. But as it finishes, you're definitely getting that sweet, meaty flavor, that smokiness that would linger around, and that aftertaste is still here, just trailing off beautifully. And you're right, that forefront of the a little bit of saltiness, and they're just wonderful transitions as it moves all the way through. And I'm sorry I stepped on you a little bit there. What do you have?
No. Well, I was contemplating we've had a couple comments. They're not replaced. They're not taking the 16-year away. That's the staple of the Lagavulin. But I was sitting here and I was thinking, even if they did and that 8 replaced it, I mean, we don't want that, but
Right.
That 8 is still pretty good.
That 8's good. I think they could come out with a whole new deal and have a constant 8 out there that's partnering with the 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, at $45 would be wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, we were at a tasting yesterday, and the brand rep for Diageo, he said, you should snap it up now. It's going to go fast, and, that's the standard speak, but if you really like it, I'd definitely grab some.
Yeah, and especially for the price point that we talked about, $60 to $70 in most markets.
Although I will add in, I'm with you guys that I think if they brought this out as a $45 8-year Lagavulin, almost as an entry level for those more timid Scotch, or maybe they haven't even been around Scotch, I think they would bring a lot of people over to their brand at a slightly less expensive price point. They would then grow into the 16.
Yep.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yep. I agree completely.
Lagavulin, if you're listening. Well, the thing is, though, also, I've heard distilleries don't have anything to do for the most part with some of the pricing that we see.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I literally don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
What say you, North Shore?
No, I don't know anything about it either. I mean, we're too new. Hey, we're like the Dummies East. You know what I mean?
And that's not a bad thing.
No.
No, that's one thing that, because we've had a few comments here or there. First of all, I think the beautiful thing about Scotch or whiskey in general is that we need to be, dare I say, as an entire group, more open, because I had a buddy, a coworker, come up and say, "Oh, when you have your Scotch tastings, do I have to wear my tweed jacket with the little patches on the elbow?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not. Come in shorts, flip flops, and a Broncos t-shirt if you want."
Yeah.
No.
Let me address one comment here and see what you guys think from William Burdine. Now, he's ranked his Lagavulins, and he says he's got the 16 at the bottom, and then the DE, the Distiller's Edition, then the 8-year, and then the 12-year.
So wait, he has the 12-year as his best one.
Yes.
Very nice.
16 at the bottom, and then the Distiller's Edition, the 8-year, and the 12-year.
Now, which one do you have? The Distiller's Edition?
Yeah,
here?
we've got it too.
Right. Have we had the 12-year?
No.
Is it more peated? Ask him, hey, if you're paying attention to that, write in, why is it the 12-year? Put it in the comments.
The 12-year is cask strength as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm digging the cask strength.
So,
Yeah.
we
had that at a tasting yesterday. It's pretty hot, but excellent dram.
Yeah,
Huh.
a little bit of water goes a long way, obviously, but it's really nice. Even more concentrated flavors, you can imagine. So I'd agree with the 12 being above the 16 and the 8. I'd probably say 12 Distillers, 16 and 8. That's my rank.
Funny story. Wondering if that guy has ever tried Lagavulin 25.
Oh,
So
Lord.
we were actually poking around on a website, a local store here, and I came across a Lagavulin 25 for $65.
What?
So I placed the order, knowing full well it probably won't go through. And sure enough, I get a voicemail, and this guy says, "Mr. McGinnis, thank you for your order, but we will not be able to fulfill that. I would be fired if I was that."
What is it? A $1,300 bottle or something, D?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 1,100. I think minimum. The cheapest I've seen on them is $1,100.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, see, you should have told him then what he had to do to make it up to you was send you 2 bottles of the 16 for that price.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not a thank you, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful. Now, what other, well, real quick, while he's going to look at comments, why don't you share some more things about the North Shore Whiskey Club, or where people can get a hold of you, just kind of promote you guys a little bit, let you get your voice out there.
I printed this up here so we can kind of show it. I don't know how well that's going to come through, but that's kind of our contact information. You got the Instagram, the Twitter, the email, and the blog site, the website. And by all means, we love, getting folks trying to chat with us about their experiences with whiskey. And we look at ourselves as whiskey advancers. We're really just enthusiasts. We want to spread the word, and it's not hard to do. It's very popular drink, and so pretty popular right now. We're kind of on a good wave. So, to get as many people as we can to go to these tastings.
it's kind of interesting. We actually get random emails from anybody. We've sort of brokered deals on, antique bottles. I think a Black Bowmore. Somebody was looking to sell theirs, and we hooked it up with a buyer. We've gotten emails. We're doing an alumni tasting to our university in a month or two. So it's you never know what's going to come in our inbox.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So how many, if you can even say, I know you guys go out and do tastings for other groups like that alumni tasting, roughly, if you can say, how many do you do maybe in a year or in a month, whichever's easier to cover?
Well, I wonder, you're talking about ones that people actually hire us for, or the ones that we put on and bring in a rep for? I mean, because I can answer both if you want. I mean, we'll probably do 2 or 3 of the ones that we actually paid to do, and we'll do about 3 or 4 of ones that we're trying to get folks to come and join us and have an industry rep present on. Rough numbers,
Sure. What do you got coming in, brother?
Well, let me just say, I've gone back and forth from the 8 to the 16 a little bit. And if I was at somebody's bar and they poured me a drink of either one of these, I wouldn't be disappointed.
No disappointment.
Yep, I agree with that.
Back to the 18 just a little bit. After I added water on mine, I do get a little bit of clove coming out on it, not near as much as what comes out on the 16, and then a little bit of a vanilla note.
You said 18
as well.
You said 18.
Clove on my 8. Oh, on my 8-year Lagavulin.
You get that same minty note on the 16 than you do in the 8 also.
Yeah. A lot stronger on the 16. Those joining in too, again with us, North Shore Whiskey Club. If you don't know, me and Bart are big Denver Broncos fans. North Shore Whiskey Club's just north of Boston. They are big New England Patriots fans, and they've been keeping us updated on the scores of the games.
Speaking of that, we still have New England 26, Los Angeles 3. Looks like 3 minutes and 48 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And Denver still 17, Jacksonville 10, 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Oh, there you go. Those are good.
And Atlanta just took the lead on Kansas City.
Go Atlanta!
Yeah, there you go.
You guys are not getting home field no matter what you do.
Oh, no. We'll travel, baby. We'll travel.
Hopefully we'll be snow up here.
Yeah, there you go. We don't mind that. I love the snow.
Okay, Shag, you're at Darren's house, and he ain't looking, and you snatch a bottle off of his shelf. Which one are you snatching?
Darren's.
Probably the Ball Blair 75.
There's only half a bottle left.
That's all right. I'll take that.
Vice versa. Darren, you're at Shag's house, and he ain't looking. Which bottle are you snagging and taking with you?
He found this gem. I think it was, Total Wine in Florida. It's a Tobermory. And who was the independent bottler, George?
Yeah, it was called Montgomery's. I got the box around here somewhere.
This very obscure independent bottler. Only has, released so many bottles. And this dram is spectacular. But that's what I would steal right there.
Jag, say something so we can see the box.
Keep talking while you got that box up.
I think he's blocking the mic.
Sorry. It's an 18-year Tobermory Montgomery's, 46% natural color. It's fantastic stuff.
Huh.
I bought this for $59, and like 2 months later it jumped to $100. But it's still a good product at $100.
Wonder if that's still available.
As they would say in Scotland, it's a cracker.
Yeah. I just heard Ben Bauer say that on one of his reviews last night. I was catching up on a couple of his, and he referred to it as being cracker. Now, that means something else in the United States.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, that means something. You put a little cheese on.
Nice.
Now, can you guys identify the gentleman on the bottle here, the Lagavulin 8? I don't know if you can see that.
Tough to see.
But if you grab your bottle, look at the gentleman there.
The gentleman right there. We're looking.
Yeah. So that is Alfred Bernard, who inspired this bottle. So he was a writer way back when, and he tried the 8, and he said, "Oh, this is an exquisite," and they decided to make this bottle in honor of him.
Wow. Yeah, he looks a lot different than the last time I met him. Sorry, I see Alfred there. He also likes funny, good-looking hats.
Oddly enough.
It's like a bowler hat or a pork pie. What is that?
Yeah, guess who knew who that was in the comments? Bart.
Whiskey Lassie.
No. Well, she might have. First one to comment, Bobby Childs.
Bobby!
Adventures in Whiskey.
Go, Bobby!
Hey, does Bobby know who our little figurines are here in the background? They might be tough to see.
Yeah, we'll give him a minute to.
Yeah, we'll give him. We'll let him see what he's got there. You know what I've been trying to do? If you look on the back shelf here, Scott's got some Compass box hard to find bottles that are apparently are for display only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't want to open those up for you, huh?
They will open with a special occasion, definitely.
So wait, we'll turn the question to you guys. I mean, Bart, what would you steal of his?
Oh boy, that is interesting. I would definitely take, and I've got one of these myself, but I love it so much. I would take his committee release Ardbeg Dark Cove because I want double. I want 2 of them.
Nice.
Very good.
We had a sample of that, and it was, I mean, it was phenomenal. I was so ecstatic that we both reached out and had to dig around and look for distant connections. And it turned out his connections were just as good as mine, maybe better. And yeah, I would definitely take that from you quickly. Now, he's got some great Compass boxes, but I've never even tried them. So they look nice. The bottle labels are pretty, but I don't know what they taste like. What would you take from me, sir? And you don't know what I got. I ain't got nothing you like.
You know, he probably has no sherry offerings, right? You're a sherry?
Well, before it's empty now, but your Black Arts would have been the first one to grab. I'm trying to think what you got now. And honestly, now probably maybe the Sullivan's Cove, which up front, and I've had it a couple of times, several times at Sullivan's Cove.
I need to get you some more of that. A fan sent that to us,
yeah.
And I did hit it a couple times after Thanksgiving.
But every time I've had it is 20 minutes, you got to let that sit in your glass 20 minutes, and it's a completely different drink than when it comes out of the bottle. It's amazing.
Very nice. Did the fan send it direct from Tasmania?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty neat. Pretty special.
Yeah. Now, was it the French oak or the American oak? I think
it was not
American.
the French. They were out of the French. I tried the French oak. I was in Pittsburgh on an office deal and met with Raj. And we went by, I'm forgetting the name of it, but we went by a real good whiskey bar. And he suggested I try, Raj is an importer, actually does Sullivan's Cove. And he said, try the 2014 French Oak Sullivan's Cove. And the owner of the bar pulled it out from underneath. And I mean, it was delicious, but of course you can't find that anywhere. That had gotten Whiskey of the Year in Murray's Bible, I believe, and it just disappeared. So you would take the Black Arts if I still had it. And if not that, then the Sullivan's Cove.
Well, here, and 2 things real quick. The Whiskey Hunter, he points out that you should let every dram sit for a minimum of 20 minutes. And that's always a good idea, but it's kind of hard to do for me sometimes.
Yeah. They say a minute in the glass for every year on the bottle.
Oh, really? See, I had not heard that before.
You know, I will throw something out real quick. I gave, deservedly so, I gave a real high review to the Glenlivet Nudura, the peated cask. So much so you couldn't get it here locally. When I was down in Texas, I went and picked up 2 of them. I will say, though, on that same note, yours had sat about 6 months before I tried it. And of course, this one, I popped it open, had it right away. It's still delicious, but it definitely needed to, even the bottle needed to sit and oxygenate a little bit, because it seemed like it had a lot more depth, the one that you'd had open for a while. So I would encourage definitely you guys to do that. And real quick, December 10th is the end of our contest that we're running on those 5 o'clock rocks glasses. If you want more information, go back and watch the Clyde Mays video. The information's there, and you just got to comment, say 5 o'clock rocks.
Glass? Who gives a shit about glass?
Glasses, baby.
Hey, I've been put on notice. My wife said if you bring one more glass home, there's going to be problems. I can't even enter your contest.
You know, there's worse problems to have than that, I suppose.
I know.
Now, if you had said you were bringing home ass,
What?
I don't know, it rhymed. I just went for it. It was there, I grabbed it.
Hey, family show.
Come on, your quote has the word shit. I don't give shit about glass. Family show went out the door, baby. Come on.
Went out the door when we hit live. That was
Boom. I mean, right away, you had a curse word just written right, boom, right there.
Now, real quick, though, too, we were talking about snatching bottles, and Bobby Child says that he would take my Compass Box, the General, and this is what's left. I had to downsize. There was about maybe a third of the bottle left, Bobby, but that's what I got left of the General.
Now, what's the story with that one?
The Compass Box, the General, it was 3 or 4 years ago, a release of, I want to say, either 1,200 or no, it was 1,600 bottles. Mm-hmm. Very rare parcels. Some were in the 40 years of age and some were in the 30s.
To me, it was heavily oaked. That was the first time that I'd had something that I felt was over oaked for me. I love Compass Box. That's how I got into the peat monster and all the peat. I've actually been talking to him about, I haven't tried it in about 1.5 years. I'd like to try it again now that my palate's a little bit more matured and see what I think. But it was heavily, heavily oaked when I tried.
Well, now let me ask you guys, your Desert Island Dram, what would it be?
If I could find it, I can tell you the best Scotch that I've had was a 38-year-old Macallan by Gordon and MacPhail. It was a 1971 Macallan, and it was bottled in 2009. So it was 38 years old. Definitely, and I just had a sample of it that a fan sent, but delicious.
Now,
if you have to go everyday dram, probably Balvenie 17-year Doublewood.
All right. Now, he's got great one. That's a great one there. I love the Port Charlotte from Brook Lottie. And
I thought you'd go Wild Turkey.
Yeah, Wild Turkey's good too. I'm not going to bespeak, but I can't say it, but I won't speak ill of it. But I love the Port Charlotte from Brook Lottie. And they've got some that I've never even seen, whether I can't get them here or whether they're international only. But they've got some cask strength Port Charlottes. And I think, so first of all, I love Port Charlotte enough. I'd want one on that desert island. And if I had the opportunity to open that and try it for the first time on that island, hopefully it wouldn't let me down. But I'm pretty confident it wouldn't, being from Brook Lottie and being part of that Port Charlotte family. Because I know they got a cask strength. And I think it was a little bit of a limited edition. And I would just love to try that. I've had the Isla barley and I've had the Scottish barley versions here. I actually prefer the Scottish barley. They're very similar, but the Scottish barley seemed a little bit more well-rounded. And although you can definitely tell they're related to each other, I prefer the Scottish barley one over the Isla barley.
So real quick then, Shag, what's yours?
So Desert Island Dram, you know, I'd probably go, if I was going to go with non-peated, I'd go with the Black Art from Brook Lottie. I am a Brook Lottie fan, no question. Very well done. It's craft. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And then if I wanted to go on a peated sort of side, I'd probably go with that Lafroig 18. I think that is absolutely sublime.
100%.
I had a travel retail one from Lafroig called Encon More. I don't know if you guys have ever tried it.
Tell us more, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. A friend of mine got it. He was traveling in Australia, but it's a great balance of sweetness and peat. It's kind of like a Lagavulin, but I was able to get a bottle, and it's great stuff.
Couple other notes. You mentioned Raj, and we had Raj at one of our tastings here. So he was one of the reps that we had brought in and agreed to do it. And just what an unbelievable education that he can give us when we were able to have him in. And Bart, there is the English Whiskey Company that has a really wonderful peated product. I've got one on order. I'm waiting for the liquor store to get it in stock, but it's fabulous. And we also had.
You peeled my head open and stole my thought there. I was exactly going to reference that because we talked to Raj on occasion, and he sent us some stuff from Canada before. But I definitely he let me try a 200 milliliter sample bottle he had from that English Whiskey Company, and loved it. Just loved it. Acacia, by the way, it just came to me. Acacia was the bar in Pittsburgh he took me to. So yeah, you are right on par. That's awesome. I would love to have him on the show. I need to reach out to him and see if he'll come on and do one of the live shows with us. I think he will.
I bet he absolutely would. Just a great guy. And he brought, and at that same tasting, he brought some of that Sullivan's Cove as well, which was fabulous.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're coming up on we are at our hour mark, which is where we try to cut these, and we could probably keep going. But real quick, let's touch on. I feel comfortable addressing. Is it worth it?
Sure.
Lagavulin 8-year at let's just say a meanie $70.
Sure, better than what you get in Canada.
Yeah.
Absolutely a good deal.
Yeah, I agree.
If you like the peat smoke, it's a good deal all the way around, as long as you're not afraid of that heavy peatedness. So yeah, is it worth it? Yes, on our side, yes, and I think I heard you guys chime in. You agree?
Yep, completely agree. No question.
Okay. Well, hey guys, thanks for joining us. Stay on the line. I'm going to stop the recording here. We'll still be live with you guys. Thanks for everybody that joined in. We got a lot of people commenting. Went well. Enjoy your Lagavulin 8. If you see it on the shelf, pick it up.
Sláinte it, dummies.
Yeah. Thanks for having us, boys. Thanks very much. And go Pats. Hey, should we do one more update?
Yeah, yes. Do another update. Then I'll close this.
Oh, we got a final here, 26-10. New England Patriots over the Los Angeles Rams.
Beautiful.
Good.
And oh boy, I'm struggling here to find it. Hold on. Yep. Okay, it's 1 minute 37 seconds. Still 17-10 on Denver-Jacksonville.
Ooh.
It's looking good. Looking good for you boys.
Excellent.
All right.
We're gonna Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
There you go. Sláinte.
Dummies.
Sláinte.